Hello and welcome to another episode of Raw Politics. Today I want to tell you why Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment is a do or die for both teams. And by both teams I mean those who want Rigathi impeached and those who don't want him impeached. If that is a subject you are interested in, I urge you to stay tuned because we are going to get into details. And if you are watching for the first time, take a moment and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss subsequent videos. Otherwise, let us jump right into the subject of the day. The first time I heard of rumors of Rigathi's impeachment was sometime in June. After these rumors, there was a lot that happened in the middle. There were Meet the People tours by Rigathi and his people, and they said a lot of things. And in all these, the deputy president painted a picture of someone who is done with the president. In fact, to quote him, he would be like, Kama ututaki, if you don't need us, it's okay. Let us just serve this term, then come 2027, you do what you want. It was like, we also don't need you, but we feel like we need to enjoy the protection, the power that come with the office of the deputy president because I was elected. And come 2027, I've already made my decision. I'm not going to work with you. And so the president also understood this, but also knew the consequences of having a deputy president who is not going to toe the line. Remember, the deputy president, as of now, according to executive order, is the one who chairs all cabinet subcommittees and all cabinet committees. And so if you have a deputy president who is not in line with the policies of the government, trust me, he will sabotage that government. I think I did a video here. I think I've linked it here. That explains why Rigathi Gachagua it did not even bother to resign or do anything. The reason as to why he's fighting to stay in power, even though he doesn't believe in Ruto. But that's besides the point. The reason as to why this is a do or die for the deputy president is that if the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is impeached today, he will no longer vie, nor will he be appointed to any state office. He cannot work for government. Neither can he be elected by the people. And you know what happens with politics. So long as you are no longer in position of power and you are unelectable, people forget about you. Examples are abound. You have the likes of Mike Sonko, who was more popular than Rigathi Gachagua, especially in Nairobi. And nobody cares about him now because people know he cannot vie and also people know he cannot be elected. The same for Waititu and others. So here is the point. If Rigathi Gachagua is impeached, he is politically dead. He knows that. And that is why, as of now, he is fighting tooth and nail in Senate to convince senators to overturn the impeachment of the National Assembly. Because if that does not happen and Senate goes ahead and impeaches the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the deputy president, he ceases to be deputy, but that is not all. He will be replaced almost immediately. So that by the time we are going for the Mashujaa Day, there will be a new deputy president welcoming the president. And Rigathi Gachagua's fate politically would have been sealed. It doesn't matter whether people are going to be emotional over it, whether people are going to sympathize with him. It will just be for a while. Human beings tend to move on. Even from the saddest of things, people tend to move on. They find something else to do. And so when you have a leader, let's say Rigathi Gachagua, currently the Mount Kenya leader, is no longer in a position to be elected, to do anything, and no longer in a position to be appointed to even look after the interest of Mount Kenya, these people will move to the next person, the next available person. I think that is why Ndini Nyoro is playing safe. I have also linked that here. I think that's why Ndini Nyoro is playing safe, so that should Rigathi be impeached, he becomes the next person that these people now would want to coalesce around. Because remember, Ndini Nyoro will still be in government, he's still in very good terms with the president, and he has a future as a politician. He would have not been impeached, so he is not barred from vying and not barred from appointment. But Rigathi Gachagua, the current leader of Mount Kenya, would now be reduced to a nobody. he would be at the mercy of other people who can vie or be elected. And so he doesn't want that. That is why it is a do or die for him and his team. You've seen he's trying. He has assembled lawyers. Rigathi Gachagua has gone to court a record 24 times to try to stop the process. And I'm persuaded that even after Senate, the DP will still go to court. Though I don't believe the courts will help him. Because, like I told you in the previous video, the only time the courts can help the DP is if he can prove that the process was not followed, not the charges. The charges, whether his lawyers say everything and make the other side look as bad, if the senators decide to impeach him, that is the end of him. He knows that. So it doesn't matter whether his lawyers do extremely good work and paint another picture. It doesn't matter. If the senators choose to impeach him, that is the end of Rigathi Gachagua, because unless he can go to court and prove that a certain process was skipped, it will not work for him. Remember, he has gone to court. The judges, a three-judge bench, even ruled and told him, we cannot supervise Senate. We cannot supervise Parliament unless it is something major that you can prove no public participation was done, or I was not given time to defend myself. Whatever it is that is supposed to be part of this process that did not happen, you can go to court and claim the process was bad. And remember, if the process was bad, then the outcome is also bad. In that case, the courts can save him. Otherwise, I don't see the court saving Rigathi Gachagua if he is impeached tonight. Now, that is why it is a do or die for him and his team. After this, if he is impeached, he will be a nobody. He cannot vie, he cannot be appointed. Mount Kenya will love him, dear, but for how long? After some time, they will have to move on. And once they move on, Rigathi Gachagua will just be a footnote. Now, let's say he convinces the senators, enough of them, to ensure that he's not impeached. Remember, there are 11 counts, and you only need one count to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. But let's say somehow he does wonders today. He appeals to the senators, and like I told you, Senate, in my opinion, is very independent. You may disagree with this, but I can tell you, based on facts, that Senate has surprised everybody this time. This particular Senate. When you expect them to impeach someone, they don't. When you expect them to not to impeach someone, they do. So it's purely based on what goes before them. And even if you listen to the questions they were asking, even their counterparts from the National Assembly, they are very categorical. This is a very robust Senate, and most of the people who are there are serious individuals. Not all, but most of the people who are there are serious individuals. So let's say Rigathi Gachagua convinces a good number of senators to overturn his impeachment so that whatever the National Assembly did is overruled. Guess what? Rigathi Gachagua gets out of this extremely powerful. He gets out of this vindicated as somebody who was going to be sacrificed politically. And guess who loses? The president and the MPs from Mount Kenya. How do the MPs from Mount Kenya lose? Remember, they staked their political future in getting rid of Rigathi Gachagua. Because if they don't, Rigathi Gachagua will go. He's a very ruthless politician. He will go to each and every constituency where these people, especially Mount Kenya MPs, those who voted against him, he will go there literally to incite the public. And now that he would know that he is unimpeachable, that the process of impeaching him is not that easy, he will go and do worse. And these people will not even be in a position to go back to their constituencies, let alone think of re-election. That is the MPs. He would have destroyed, he would use the remaining chance to destroy the MPs in ways that you've never seen. It will send fears in anyone from Mount Kenya who would dare challenge the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. He would be very strong. With the people behind him, the MPs will be nothing. 2, the president. How will it work for the president? Remember, they are persuaded that it is the president that is behind this particular impeachment, that it is the president that wants to get rid of him. Imagine if you don't get rid of Rigathi. He comes out of this extremely powerful. And he has made it very clear he does not consider Ruto as his boss. He actually believes they are equal, that they were elected by the same votes, that they share the same mandate from the people. So do you know the things he will say about President Ruto? If now that he's not been impeached, he was saying everything, saying he sympathizes with Ruto. He says how Ruto is out of touch with the ground. He sympathizes with... He was all over. And even joining the choirs of Ruto must go. Imagine if he gets out of this and Ruto has failed to impeach him, what he will do to Ruto. Rigathi Gachagua will make sure that Ruto does not deliver a single thing moving forward. I can guarantee you that. He will focus on frustrating the president in every way, undermining him everywhere, that he will get a chance. So that by 2027, Ruto would have achieved nothing to show people. Imagine Rigathi Gachagua going to Mashujaa in Kwale, unbowed, victorious, and is the one to welcome Ruto, the president, having known that in his mind that it is Ruto who wanted to get rid of him. You know what kind of speech he will read. You know Rigathi. He will overdo it. He will paint the president in the worst way he can. Okay? So moving forward, it will be very difficult for Ruto. That is why it is a do or die for Ruto. Ruto and his team and the team of the MPs have to make sure that Rigathi Gachagua is impeached. Otherwise, they are also supposed to just say goodbye to their career, because Rigathi Gachagua is going to make it almost impossible for Ruto to deliver. And if the president doesn't deliver, come 2027, all Rigathi has to do is to jump ship to another coalition and then tell people he is leaving because the guy could not even deliver. But if Rigathi is nowhere, it doesn't matter. After a short time, it's 3 years still. Within 6 months, people would have moved on to something else. Rigathi would be a footnote. So that is why it is a do or die, ladies and gentlemen. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you have a different view, also just share your view. Feel free to share your view. Otherwise, drop a like and share this video with your friends. Let's meet in the next video.